Yes, it's Tactard Ted, here to tell you the Cold War is back, baby. Yes, the Cold War. And we are the antagonist. Yep, we are the antagonist. And why would I say the Cold War is back? One of the great features of the Cold War were proxy wars, where we didn't actually get into it with the Soviets back in the day. No. We would back one side, the Soviets would back another side, and we had plausible deniability. We did this little technical sissy dance where we are going to inflict casualties, we are going to inflict harm on the other country, but it isn't actually going to be us doing it. We're going to play a little game, and it was common. And I will tell you, in my mind, from the history, I think the Soviets engaged in a lot more proxy wars than we did. Examples of this is when they aided North Korea during the Korean conflict in the 1950s. They gave aid to the North Koreans, and they funneled it through China. Also, interestingly enough, some of the MiG pilots that American forces were facing in Korea were Soviet fighter pilots in MiGs that were bearing North Korean markings. Interesting, isn't it? They backed one side, they were inflicting casualties on our side, but they wanted to get away from it. You move forward to Vietnam, same situation. In fact, the SAM battery that famously shot down John McCain happened to have a Russian advisor, and these so-called advisors are all over the place. Then you get to Africa. Hey, they back one side, we back another. Let them go at it. We'll funnel weapons into there and make a killing, and nobody really cares, because all we're trying to do is hurt the other side, but it's not their people dying. It's not our people dying. It's a bunch of these folks who are unfortunate enough to live in a country that can't get along, and we're just giving weapons so they can blow the shit out of each other, and hopefully the winner will come out praising us or praising them or praising whoever as their great allies in their victory. It even goes as far as terrorist organizations. I know that the Soviets gave weapons and supplies to the Irish Republican Army. I'm not getting into the politics of whether the IRA was a misunderstood liberation force or whether they were just scumbag terrorists. I'm not going to get into that argument. What I am going to tell you is the Soviets supplied them because it caused a problem for England. Not because they believed in Irish sovereignty, not because they believed in whatever. It's because they wanted to cause shit for the British. And we're not alone in that. Oh, no. They're not the only ones doing it. The Soviet war in Afghanistan was a proxy war. Charlie Wilson's war brings that to the forefront, that it was a proxy war. So the interesting thing is, after the fall of the Soviet Union, we have not had a proxy war until now. We have a proxy war going on in Ukraine. And why do we have a proxy war? Because we're not going to fight. We're not going to send our ground troops, although we've sent a bunch of hapless fools who have decided to go over there, and for whatever reason, going to die in Ukraine for a few dollars is a lot more important than being with their families. Maybe these guys have nothing. They're not freedom fighters. They're not freedom. You want to fight for freedom? Start here. We got our own problems. You want to fight for something? Fight here. You know, military adventurism. Okay, cool. I get it. I understand why you do it. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's right. So we're fighting a proxy war, which is bringing us back into the new Cold War. Just in case any of you young kids didn't have your Cold War, you were born after the Cold War. So now you've got your Cold War. Enjoy. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be fun. And we might as well just go ahead and take that old doomsday clock and set her a little close to midnight. Because if there's one thing for certain, we're so big for our britches that we can't mind our own fucking business and take care of this country. And you would have thought after all the military adventurisms, all the military expeditions in Afghanistan, Iraq, all these little shithole countries that we bombed all over the world. The interesting thing is people who actually got involved in those conflicts don't want any part of any of this. Most veterans don't want any part of this. Or I won't say most, maybe half. There's a larger number of veterans that I talk to daily who don't want any parts of this. Now, you get those few guys that are still butthurt because they didn't fight the Cold War. We never got to fight the Soviets, and for some reason they can't separate the Soviets from the Russians. If you're going to go that card, that the Russians are the Soviets, well, sir, the Ukrainians are the Soviets. In fact, in my youth, Leonid Brezhnev, who was the leader of the Soviet Union, was a Ukrainian. And Ukraine wasn't an inactive player. They weren't disengaged from the Soviet Union. And so we're playing this game. Welcome back to the Cold War, folks. Hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy your economy taking a hit, your standard of living going down. But Raytheon and the military-industrial complex is going to become super rich beyond the level of super rich they already are. So enjoy. Keep electing idiots. Keep electing people who can't keep Ukraine and Russia straight during a press conference. Presidents whose cheese has definitely slipped off their cracker. So enjoy. The Cold War's back. Have fun.